Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Coins Extra interview session. So today we have a pioneer in the ecosystem, blockchain and cryptocurrency ecosystem in Nigeria and Africa. So we'll be talking about impact of BlockDeFi. So with us is Chuta Chimeze. Chuta Chimeze is the founder of Blockchain Nigeria User Group. Also, he is the CEO of Blockspace Africa Technologies Limited. Chuta, you are welcome to Coins Extra.
Thank you so much, Uchenna. It's always a pleasure to join Coinbase Extra and collaborate with you guys. I love the work you're doing, and I want you to continue doing it because there's a space for what you're doing here, and you're playing a vital role in the ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's our pleasure to have you joining us. We really appreciate what you're doing in this ecosystem. So before we jump to what we have for today, can you just give us a brief about yourself?
Okay, Chimeze Chuta, founder Blockchain Nigeria User Group, and I've been in the tech industry for over 20 years now, and I got involved with blockchain technology some couple of years back, probably 5 years or thereabout. And when we found out that there were no activities going on in the industry, we took it upon ourselves, set up Blockchain Nigeria User Group as a fundamental organization for driving adoption and awareness in the ecosystem. And since we started doing this stuff in 2016, we've tremendous impact. We've been able to connect individuals and businesses across board in Nigeria, across Africa, and the rest of the world. We've been able to build bridges. We've been able to make a lot of progress interfacing with regulatory agencies, whether they are at the central bank or Security and Exchange Commission or NIDA or the insurance, the bankers insurance company. That's the what's the name of these guys that manages insurance deposits. Okay, so we've been able to interface with everyone that plays in this space, whether it's in the capital market or in the technology field. So I'm always excited when I see news coming out showing that Nigeria is number one when it comes to cryptocurrencies. I think it's not far from the truth that it's because of the activities that have been going on in the industry that is driving such awareness and making it possible for people to jump into this tech and make the best out of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chuta. So you've been playing a very vital role in the space, blockchain and crypto space. You are as a pioneer in the blockchain adoption in Africa and Nigeria. What do you intend? You came up with BlockDeFi. What do you intend to achieve with BlockDeFi?
Okay, every year since 2017, we've always held conferences, and each time we want to hold conference, we choose a particular agenda or a theme to make it a focus for the conference, so that we can guide discussions in that direction. And the themes or the agenda we always choose are usually the agenda that resonates with the current pulse of the industry. And DeFi, which stands for decentralized finance, is one of the hottest topics that is going on in the blockchain and crypto industry at this moment, because it brings a whole new type of opportunity that never existed before. So when we hold these kinds of conferences and engage discussions in these focus areas, we bring it to the reality of the daily lives of the people that come in contact with the content. And it's really very important, because whenever you talk about something and impress on that particular subject matter strong enough, people get to pay attention. And the essence of this conference basically could draw attention to decentralized finance. Not just decentralized finance, but also to know that it's not just decentralized, but it's also an alternative finance. And that is one of the things that I believe that people need to understand, because once you understand this concept and you're able to understand how they work, then you can also understand how you can leverage them to your own advantage, either as an individual or as a business.
Thank you very much, sir. Most especially this is coming up at this pandemic time when everyone is at home. So, and organizing something online and organizing a virtual program is not easy. I believe there are some challenges that you will be facing to organize this program. So, what are some of the challenges before we proceed to details of the event you are facing organizing this wonderful event?
Well, I think the law of adaptation has already taken place here, in the sense that people are gradually adapting to the new kind of world that we are living in, which is the virtual world. Okay, now because of COVID-19, people had to be forced to, do most of the things that they needed to do online. And some of these virtual platforms that are available today for holding conferences and meetings have actually been there for a while, but because people didn't have any need to, be engaging virtually since they can physically meet, they didn't pay much attention to those platforms. But COVID made it possible for everyone to start looking for alternatives to physical meetings. And that's where virtual environments bursted out. And of course, that didn't come without its own challenge. The major challenge is the availability of the internet bandwidth that is required for you to have robust, seamless transmission of your content. And of course, it's a challenge, but it's also an opportunity, because once again, it's opportunity for businesses, enterprises to begin to invest in, bandwidth, in 4G 5G, 4G technology, any kind of technology that will increase internet penetration. I see a whole lot of effort by government of Lagos State, laying fiber optic cables across the entire state, making sure that people have access to robust internet connectivity. That's how it's supposed to be. And of course, when things like this are put in place, it means that we can actually begin to do a whole lot of things that we couldn't have been able to do before. Now, when you hold physical conferences, people have to travel, spend a lot of money, and have to book for hotels and take a lot of risk across the board to get to your conference venues. But when you're running virtual conferences, they can actually participate from their homes and their offices. So there's no flight ticket to be worried about. You don't have to worry about hotel tickets, hotel bills, and all those things. So it comes with a challenge, but also has its own advantage. And I think the advantage far outweighs the disadvantage.
Interesting to hear that the advantage outweighs the disadvantage. So that's very, very interesting. We know how things are moving and people are going virtual with the situation on ground. So coming to this program, there are some things we've been able to see how some of the programs you organize are the kind of speakers. So what are we expecting come this BlockDeFi? Who are some of the speakers that we are expecting from this conference? Is there any spicy?
Okay, so the primary agenda of the conference is unpacking blockchain and the potentials of alternative, open, trustless finance in building the foundation of financial self-sovereignty for Africa. Now, that theme resonates with the key person who is supposed to be, or who will be doing the keynote address for this conference, in the person of Dr. Mrs. Obiageli Ezekwesili. She is not someone that needs too much introduction as far as Nigeria is concerned, but because this is a virtual conference that is global, it's important to let people know that she is actually a senior economic advisor at the Africa Economic Development Policy Initiative. It's a non-governmental, non-profit initiative where she contributes in helping to drive economic development policy initiative that will help Africa to come out of the shadows where they have been because of bad political systems. Okay, so she is someone that everybody knows has been, her second name is Madame Due Process. In other words, she resonates with the core principles of blockchain, which has to do with the right process, transparency, immutability, and security. Okay, so she will definitely find this our agenda a very interesting topic to devour, during the conference. So she will be the main keynote addressee for the conference. So once her address is over, then she opens the floor for other panel sessions. We have panel sessions that looks very interesting that people shouldn't miss. For instance, we'll be looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly sides of DeFi. Okay, so this decentralized finance, it has the good part, and of course, the bad part is also very, very visible. Then it also has ugly sides. So these are some of the areas that we'll be taking a look at in a panel discussion segment. So we'll have, very interesting people in the industry will be speaking on them. So we'll have sessions that are interesting enough that will engage people throughout the day. It's a 2-day event, and because this conference has been carefully put together and speakers selected and topics chosen, it will be very difficult for anyone to be able to miss any of those sessions without regret. So I encourage everyone, just plan by your data. The money you should have used in paying for hotel ticket or paying for a flight ticket or spending in the locations where you're going to be for feeding and all that, take a large chunk of it and get yourself a reasonable amount of data and make sure that your connectivity is top notch, and sit down, grab the popcorn, and you begin to enjoy this. So we have other speakers like the CEO and CTO of Lightning Lab. You have Elizabeth Stark. You have Ola Olua. His Twitter handle name is the one that resonates with a lot of people. Rosebeef is a very smart young man who is the major brain behind the Lightning Lab implementation of the Lightning Network. Okay, so he will also be taking some keynote addresses. They will also have people from different kinds of backgrounds. Definitely people would like to know a little bit more on how to stay compliant, even in riding these waves of digital financial assets. You want to do DeFi, you want to issue DeFi tokens, whatever it is you need to know how you can stay very, very compliant with regulations. So we'll have Mr. Ebitemi Agama, who is a deputy director at Security and Exchange Commission Nigeria, and he is also the head of licensing and registrations at Security and Exchange Commission. He's a very, very well knowledgeable person in the industry, so he will be sharing with us that thought. We also have panel sessions that cuts across central bank issued cryptocurrencies. How do they work? How would they affect the industry going forward? We have other business sessions that has to do with probably things like tokenized business models. These days you see a lot of people thinking about creating new types of businesses using blockchain technology. What is the role that tokenization of assets will play in driving the growth of blockchain across Africa? So we'll have very interesting sessions. We in fact, for those who are interested in you're doing cryptocurrencies, you shouldn't miss the sessions that we have designed for you, which is the Inside the Crypto Traders Locker Room. It's a place where traders, we've selected about 12 ace traders from across different exchanges. They will be sitting down and they will be talking about how they do what they do, their challenges, their fears, their tips, whatever it is that helps them to succeed in trading in whichever trading platform that they're going to be using or they've been using, will be available for us to just listen and ask questions. So overall, I think because the content is this rich, that's why we decided to issue out certificates for everyone that will participate fully in these conferences. We issue them certificates that they can easily embed on their social media platform like LinkedIn. And these certificates are not just ordinary paper, they are baked into the Bitcoin blockchain. So you will have those certificates forever. As long as the internet is working, those certificates will be embedded on your LinkedIn profile and anyone can verify it at any time. So these are just a little bit of the things that people will have planned out for people during the conference.
Interesting that the program is fully loaded as usual. We are expecting something to happen, because most especially we know what is happening in DeFi, how DeFi is trending and people diving into DeFi. So one should really understand it. And the local room you mentioned, it has been a challenge. Trading has been an issue people are having. So it's important they attend this rich program. So, Mr. Chuta, with this program, you've been able to explain it. How can one participate in this program? What platform are we expecting?
Okay, so we have several platforms that they use for virtual events. But when you talk about virtual events, it's not really like a Zoom meeting without interaction. So we have selected one of the topmost virtual platforms, which is Emit, to use for this conference. Emit provides a very interesting environment where you won't even understand anymore that this conference is virtual. You will think that you are in a physical environment, because we will have 16 positions where you can interact with the people that are around you on your table. We have exhibition spaces where the sponsors could display their product and also interact with people who come into their stand. So it's not just for you to come and watch, but it's also an opportunity for you to interact, engage, and connect with people. So we chose this platform because of the key ingredient of networking. You can network with people on this platform. So I'm going to be dropping a link for you. Everyone is free to register for the conference. It is free of charge to attend. We only have one paid session, and that one paid session will be going up on Sunday. And why is it a paid session? Because we're inviting a very senior crypto trader from the United States to facilitate 2 hours of a crypto trading masterclass. And this is someone that people pay as much as $500 per month in subscription to be able to have access to his report and his tips of trade. I'm not talking about any other person other than Mr. James Jama. He is the DCG founder and CEO. So he runs this platform, DCG Group. And one of the things that they do is they give you insight that will make you to be profitable in your trading. I mean, why don't you take away guesswork out of your trading? Why don't you be a little bit more sure of what the outcome of your trade will look like? All it just takes is for you to invest a little bit of your funds into getting the right knowledge. That knowledge will save you a whole lot of money that you would have wasted doing trial and error. And that's why we're taking a token to make that session special. So we're just taking only $50, and that $50 is really nothing for anybody that does trading. Sitting down 1 hour of trade will give you that money back. But without that knowledge, you can trade and trade and trade, and all you have in your record is loss and loss and loss. So we encourage people to not just look at the amount, but look at the benefit. So register for the event and participate fully. And I promise you that you will get ideas that will inspire you and also put you on the level where you start, earning money the right way, trading cryptocurrencies.
Thank you very much. The idea that will inspire you, we know what that has really done in our lives. The programs being inspired after coming for a conference. So finally, Mr. Chuta, you've been able to explain how things are going to happen during this program and the quality of speakers. So finally, how do we see the future of BlockDeFi and other programs you will be hosting?
Well, no one can correctly predict the future of the industry in any way. But one thing is sure is that some of these things, they are not going to go away anytime soon. They're going to be part of our lives. The only thing we're going to be learning to do is how to sieve between the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that is why it's important that if you attend a conference like this, you pay attention to understand some of these things. But for me, I believe that the future is bright for the ecosystem. I believe that decentralized finance and alternative finance will be will have one of the biggest impact across Africa, because most of the rebuilding of financial systems using decentralized protocols will actually succeed most in Africa, where the legacy systems are actually non-existing. So I strongly believe that after this conference, we'll see significant change in the lives of everyone that attended them. And of course, because it's virtual, we'll have recorded sessions that people can also get back to learn more about what was discussed at the main conference.
Thank you very much. You have heard it from a pioneer in blockchain adoption in Nigeria and Africa in the person of Chuta Chimeze, who is the founder of Blockchain Nigeria User Group and also CEO Blockspace African Technologies Limited. Thank you, Mr. Chuta Chimeze, for joining us.
Thank you. Coin is extra. Keep up the good work, and we'll continue to collaborate and support your effort. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.